Yo guys, what is going on? My name is Vexelite, and today I'm bringing you my top 10 wants/predictions for the WWE Superstar Shakeup. And this list was rather hard to make. There's a lot of people that can be switched, but in the end, I figured I picked the switches that should be made that would help the superstar's career the most. So, not on maybe a brand is lacking face versus heels in the women's division or tag team division. This is solely based on how it would affect the superstar's career and nothing else. Because I was doing that at first. I'm like, SmackDown has way too many heel women and not enough face. But I'm like, I'm just doing this based on who needs it for their single career, not talking about face or tag team. Like, you know what I mean. Just who would be benefited from this the most. So, if you guys get it, let's just jump into this list. And coming in at number 10, we have Finn Balor. And Finn Balor is currently in an intercontinental feud with Seth Rollins and The Miz. Well, it's not really confirmed that he's even in the feud, which is the problem. See, after WrestleMania, he wanted a rematch, and then Miz came out and said he's going to use his rematch clause that he deserves, and Finn Balor doesn't deserve a rematch. So it's not even confirmed. So Finn Balor may not even be in the Intercontinental title scene. And he's been on Raw since the brand split. He was the first ever Universal Champion, and things have just gone downhill. He has gotten an Intercontinental title shot, which was good. It's probably the best thing that's ever happened to him, but he has not come out on top, and I don't see him beating Seth Rollins for it. So, Finn Balor, he's not going for the Universal title because it's still Brock's. Then it's probably going to be Reigns. So, he's probably not going to be involved with either of that. So, send him over to SmackDown Live. Have him feud with AJ Styles for the WWE title. Have him save the mid-card division, the US title. Have him feud with Shinsuke Nakamura, Daniel Bryan, a bunch of people over there. And maybe he'll finally get a push. SmackDown is lacking a bunch of the top-tier superstars, and Finn Balor would blend right in. If you guys remember, 2017, before the brand split, or not the brand split, but the other superstar shakeup, SmackDown was the A show, and they did take a lot of their superstars, and they're lacking really top guys. I guess they had Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Spoiler alert, they're not on this list because I don't even know. They can go to Raw or SmackDown, I'm not sure. But, yeah, they're not on this list. So what I was saying is they had a lot of top stars like, Dean Ambrose, and they took him to Raw. And they're probably going to put Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn over on Raw. So what I'm saying is whenever SmackDown gets like a hot star, Raw takes them. So maybe Finn Balor can go over SmackDown and he'll get something going over there. SmackDown needs stars. Finn needs SmackDown and SmackDown needs him. So I don't see a better fit. Coming in at number 9, we have The Miz. And now, as I was saying for number 10, The Miz is definitely confirmed for an Intercontinental title match, and I don't see him winning. Seth Rollins is going to hold on to that title. And when The Miz is done with that feud, there's nothing left for him on Raw, because the entire time he's been on Raw, he's been involved in the Intercontinental title scene, and he hasn't really had feuds outside of that. Not that WWE really books feuds outside of that anymore, but once Seth Rollins beats him for it, he is probably going to have nothing, and he's not one of the superstars that should just be wasted. He should be in a feud. He should be high caliber. He should be main eventing, stuff like that. So put him over back on SmackDown. Finally get the Daniel Bryan storyline going. Daniel Bryan is cleared to return. He is going to just have amazing feuds with people over there, like I said. And we could finally get Daniel Bryan versus The Miz. And it may be a little late. It may be pretty late, but I'm pretty sure no one would be complaining. Just bring back Talking Smack, and maybe that's how he'll debut. Have Talking Smack come back, and he just walks on over, and him and Daniel start going at it. You never know. And, yeah, hopefully he goes to SmackDown. Maurice is back. Doubt it. She just had a kid. Probably going to take care of her. Is the baby a guy or a girl? I don't know. But I don't think we'll see Maurice on TV again. I think that was the last time. He has the Miz Taraj. And I didn't really put the Miz Taraj with the Miz. It could be with or without. It doesn't really matter. But as long as Miz goes to SmackDown, that's good. Coming in at number 8, we have another SmackDown pick, and it's the Club over to SmackDown. And the club has been on Raw ever since they debuted, and they won the Raw Tag Team titles once on the Royal Rumble kickoff show for 2017, and then I think they carried them until WrestleMania, and then they lost them to the Hardys. So, and they haven't been in any feuds, and these guys used to be intimidating, and they used to be a threat. Now they're being booked poorly. They don't really mean much. Put them over on SmackDown with Finn and AJ. Put them with either or. Put them with a heel AJ. Put them with face AJ. Put them with heel Balor, face Balor. Doesn't matter. Just have them be doing something over on SmackDown where they're going to be utilized. I could see it doing well for them. The SmackDown tag division is basically just the Usos, New Day, and Bludgeon Brothers. And, you know, maybe the club could go against the Bludgeon Brothers, beat them, and, you know, have them be the tag champs. That's the thing about undefeated, indestructible guys. It makes booking really hard. Like, if you're going to have the Bludgeon Brothers just be these unstoppable, undefeated guys, that makes it hard to book because every feud is just going to be fucking the same thing. Like, it's so stupid. You basically bury whoever you have them go against, which isn't true in every scenario. But if the club went over to SmackDown, went against the Bludgeon Brothers, lost, they're just as buried. So put them with, maybe literally don't even have them go for the tag titles then. Maybe just have them be with Balor or AJ Styles. He'll probably go with Balor. I don't know. I don't know who they go with, but either way, get the club over to SmackDown. People were talking about this one even last year. But coming in at number 7, we have Dolph Ziggler, and this is the first SmackDown to Raw trade. Dolph Ziggler has been on SmackDown Live since the brand split. He is a SmackDown original, and he had a good career in the very beginning. He won the Intercontinental title against The Miz, and I think he dropped it back to him a month later. He was the #1 contender for the WWE Championship, had this amazing feud with Dean Ambrose. They were going to go for the world title at SummerSlam. Supposed to be one of the best matches. Dolph Ziggler is a great seller. Dean Ambrose could put on amazing matches, and the entire thing fell flat. The hype for that match, was amazing. But then when it just came on, the energy was not there at SummerSlam 2016 because we still had the Universal title match to come on, and they put this like in the middle of the show, and then that's about all that's happened to Dolph Ziggler. 2017 has not been a good year for him, and now we're in 2018 where he came in number 30, where everyone thought he was going to win the Royal Rumble, and he was eliminated in like 2 minutes. He didn't win Money in the Bank in 2017. He could have won it. I mean, he literally should have won it over Baron Corbin, because Baron Corbin cashed it in, well, attempted to and failed. I'm pretty sure everyone would have rather seen Dolph Ziggler cash it in, because they loved when he did it for the first time. And I'm pretty sure he's a face now. Everyone's behind him, I'm pretty sure. He hasn't even been on TV in a while. So, last time I saw him, he was in the Andre the Giant Battle Royale thing in WrestleMania kickoff. So I don't even know if he's a heel or a face, but this guy has talent. People can get behind him very easily, but WWE just does not want to put effort into him. So, just thinking, how is it easier to kickstart a career? You could just start a push on the same brand out of nowhere, or send him over to Raw, get something going, because that's like the biggest Kickstarter little boost for a career ever. Just send him over to a different brand and just get him rolling. I feel like the creative team and WWE as a whole would be more encouraged to push him if they switched his brands instead of keeping him on SmackDown. I think it's more likely he'll get a push on Raw than on SmackDown just because of the whole switch. Whenever they get switched, they usually have a little bit of momentum. The switch from SmackDown to Raw will get him a little bit of momentum that he needs, and it'll just keep rolling and rolling from there. So, number 7 was Dolph Ziggler. Coming in at number 6 is Randy Orton. Randy Orton desperately needs to go to Raw. He has been so boring, honestly. I mean, he is so boring. He has a lot of fans. I don't get it. Every feud of his just, hey, look, I ran from behind you and RKO'd you. It's the same thing over and over, and it is just so boring. He's just a boring face character. He has no one to feud with. He's feuding with Jinder Mahal again. This is awful. Honestly, put him on Raw. Make him a heel. Raw needs top heels. he would be the top heel. It's just the puzzle pieces fall so perfectly like aligned, and they don't want to do it. Literally, put him on Raw. Have him attack someone like the biggest face on Raw. I don't know who. Probably Finn Balor, but I have him going to SmackDown on this list. So I don't know. Literally, don't have him RKO someone, because that's what he does now and he's still a face. Have him go out here. Seth Rollins. Perfect. Seth Rollins isn't on this list. Spoiler alert. I was actually thinking about putting him on here, but I'm like, well, this list is centered around people who need a boost in their career, and he is the IC champion, and I predict he will be for a long time. So I'm like, you know what? That's something I just wanted to do for fun, and is not necessary at all to his career. And he can stay on Raw. He's a top guy on Raw. Monday Night Rollins. He's fine on Raw. So have Randy Orton. This obviously can't happen because he's in booking for the United States title, but let's pretend there's some workaround to this, right? So he does have a match at Backlash against Jinder Mahal for the U.S. title. So imagine there's some kind of workaround, right? So this Monday Night Raw comes on, and Seth Rollins celebrating with his IC title, blah blah blah, cutting a promo, and then all you hear is Randy Orton's theme song come out. Everyone's already freaking out because he's a huge name. People love Randy Orton, so they're already freaking out. And maybe have him just walk down normally. Don't have him run and RKO him. And then have Randy say something. RKO Seth. Picks up the IC title. Holds it up in the air. But then Seth Rollins gets back up and starts fighting back. Those two start going at it. And then another RKO. And he's pretending to leave the ring. He puts one foot through the rope. And he looks back. And he winds up. Punts Seth Rollins right in the head. Punts him right in the head. Seth Rollins goes away for 2, 3, 4 weeks. Randy Orton is officially top heel on Raw, going for the IC title, could even go for the Universal title. Randy Orton's immediately interesting again. His promos are better, his matches are better, his feuds are better, everything is better. I thought that was pretty good booking right there, guys. I don't know about you, but I want Randy on Raw, and I want him heel. So, coming in at number 5, basically the same thing. I probably should have put him at a different spot, just because it's the same thing back to back. Bobby Roode, another SmackDown to Raw. Once again, Bobby is another. I'm not even going to speak too much about this one. Bobby is a generic, boring face on SmackDown. Put him on Raw. Put him as a heel, because that's where everyone started to love him as. He was a heel in NXT. He was starting to get love, so he debuted on SmackDown and was face immediately after losing the NXT title. And at first I didn't agree with this pick. My friend Blake, Axonix on YouTube, I made this video with him. Go check it out. It's blowing up. It has like over 100 views already, I think. So I did this list already. This is about a couple days later, a week later, and I've changed my mind. These are all my picks. So go check his video. It'll be in the description. But I do believe that this should happen. He could be a top heel on Raw, because when Roman does win the Universal title, he needs top heels to be with. Braun Strowman, I don't even think is a heel, and Samoa Joe is about the only top heel I can think of. So you got Randy and Bobby Roode. Those are the two new top heels on Raw. That would be amazing. And once again, Randy Orton and Bobby Roode are both amazing superstars that everyone can get behind. Everyone loves their feuds, loves their characters, but they're just extremely boring as faces as a whole. And I mean, I guess it does suck because people end up liking them when they're heel anyway, but who really cares? I just say keep them as a heel that gets cheered. Honestly, what's the end of the world? Like, Kevin Owens has been a heel, and he gets cheered half the time, so they didn't turn him face. So that's why I think Bobby Roode should go to Raw. Coming in at the number 4 spot, this is a package deal, so technically it's 11 superstars, but just hear me out. Number 4 is Sasha Banks and Bayley over to SmackDown. So this does count as one pick, but on Raw they are having a match, and these two have been teasing a feud for near a year now. And now they're just having a match that's not for like a number 1 contendership or something like that. So let's say Sasha Banks loses and then goes over to SmackDown, and then she's cutting a promo like, finally I'm away from Bayley, blah blah blah. And let's say something after their match on Raw happens, and like they're mad at each other, and Sasha Banks gets called over to SmackDown to get away from her. And then Bayley just comes out, and they continue their feud on SmackDown, except this time it's an actual feud. They're actually feuding, not these teasing feud, not that stupid crap. an actual feud that should culminate at SmackDown, or at SmackDown, at SummerSlam. It doesn't even have to be for the women's title. Keep it on Carmella. That's perfectly fine. Have them just have a non-sanctioned match. I'm pretty sure that means just one-on-one normal match. Have them have an amazing match at SummerSlam. That SummerSlam card would get boosted just by that match alone, and I don't see any negatives to this. Once again, SmackDown women's division is lacking faces. Bayley is a face, and Sasha Banks could be a face. So, I think these two should go over to SmackDown. Plus, the Raw women's division is absolutely stacked. You got Alexa Bliss, you got Nia Jax, you got Ember Moon, you got Mickie James, you have Ronda Rousey, you have Asuka. She's technically still on Raw. Technically, she is. There's a bunch of other names I'm probably not thinking of right now. Yeah, I think that's... I'm just saying that Raw has more top women than SmackDown. Like, who's SmackDown's top women? Charlotte. No one from the Ruby Riot Squad. Yeah, I can't really think of. Carmella, kind of, and the Iconic Duo. So, put these two over, you know, maybe get the SmackDown women's division a little boosted. It could definitely use the boost. They've been using the same storyline since, like, October, September. You guys remember the welcoming committee? Yeah, that's what the Riot Squad is, just with different people. Same booking. Naomi, Charlotte, Becky versus Carmella, Natalya, and Tamina. Except now it's Becky, Charlotte, Naomi versus Ruby Riott, Liv Morgan, and Sarah Logan. So, let's do something about that. Let's try to get that habit to be broken, and we'll start having feuds. Like, that would mean, like, Sasha Banks and Charlotte's feud could be restarted. Bayley could go against Charlotte herself again. She's obviously going against Sasha Banks. She can go against Carmella, Sasha versus Carmella. I don't know. Either way, I think this is a very important draft or switch that needs to be made. And coming in at number 3, which I kind of thought about not putting this on the list, but it's Jeff Hardy over to SmackDown, and I do see him getting a singles push, which is what I desperately want. Jeff Hardy as a single star. Oh my god, I would be so hyped for that. But Jeff Hardy needs to go over to SmackDown. He doesn't really need to. That's why I said I was debating putting this on here, because in the beginning I did say this would be for a better career, and he hasn't really started his singles career on Raw. He came back last week and he was in a team with Seth and Finn, which is fine. But I think if he goes over to SmackDown, SmackDown will get another single star, another like solo top important, really, you know, fan loved star over there, which they desperately need. He can even go against AJ Styles versus Jeff Hardy for the WWE Championship. This is how you start getting prestige back into the WWE Championship. This is how you do it. Get him over on SmackDown. Have him even go for the US title. Maybe finally get it away from Jinder. Just not too much to really say about this one. Just I feel like he has more time to shine over on SmackDown. Now, we are in the top 2. 1 woman, 1 male. Number 2, I feel like a lot of you will agree with me on this one. It's Becky Lynch over to Raw. This desperately needs to happen. Becky Lynch, I'm really passionate about this one, and I'm not even that big of a fan of Becky. But if I see her on Raw, I'm going to fully be behind her. She was the first ever SmackDown Women's Champion. And ever since her first defense, losing to Alexa, it's all been downhill. Absolutely nothing. Didn't win Money in the Bank. Didn't even win the Women's Battle Royale at WrestleMania. Absolutely nothing. She's not been in one interesting feud. She was feuding with Natalya. Just all this boring stuff. And how else to, you know, revitalize her career by sending her over to Raw, have her feud with, I don't know, Nia Jax, have her feud with whoever, Alexa Bliss again, maybe. Alexa Bliss is going to need something to do because she's probably not getting that title back. But Becky has so many fans, she has so much potential, and on SmackDown she's barely even featured. She needs to go over to Raw. It's just, she, pun intended, she has fire behind her character. I made that joke once already. But honestly, Becky Lynch needs to go over to Raw. I just can't describe how weird it is that they have a character like this. She's basically like Sasha Banks. She has the wrestling technicality. She has the fans. It's just like WWE's like, let's not do anything with this. Dear God. Like, send Sasha to SmackDown. Send Becky to Raw. Sasha will be big on SmackDown. Becky will be big on Raw. And everyone's happy. But coming in at the #1 spot, I think it's one you guys are going to be very thrown off by, but it's Braun Strowman. Now, I know they like to keep all the huge top guys over on Raw, but he's been on Raw since 2016, and he has what to show for it. He's been tag team champ for 22 hours with a 9 or 10-year-old. That's not impressive. He has been in a feud with Reigns, which was amazing. See, that's why I tell you, they need to just start getting these feuds that aren't for titles back. Because remember when Reigns and Reigns and Strowman feuded, and it wasn't for a title or anything? Everyone, that was what feud, I'm pretty sure that was feud of the year. So, that just proves to you they need to bring back more feuds. So, Braun Strowman has had many chances, well, not really, but he's had a Universal title shot, and he lost to one F5. Because they were setting up for this whole Reigns thing, which we thought was going to be like, oh, look, he kicked out of the F5 and won the title. That was wrong, apparently. So now Braun Strowman and Samoa Joe losing was really for nothing. So, it's just very frustrating. Braun Strowman would be another top solo star SmackDown desperately needs. Have him win the WWE Championship. They're obviously hesitant to put the Universal title on him. So send him to SmackDown. Give him the WWE title, and give him a long, but not boring reign. Like, WWE needs to give more long, important WWE and Universal title reigns, and give it to Braun Strowman. He would be there every week, unlike Brock. He would be interesting. He would have good feuds, good matches, good main events. Every pay-per-view, he would be main eventing. He would, like, not like Brock, who's a champion, main events maybe 1 out of every 5. So, send him over to SmackDown then. Honestly, no one really would care if he was over on SmackDown than not on Raw. Obviously, they don't have anything for him on Raw. Like, he just won the tag titles and vacated them. Now what? Like, now what? All of this for nothing. He could have been tag champs for a long time with Samoa Joe, Elias, Dean Ambrose, anyone. But they didn't want to do that either. They didn't even want to give him a real tag title reign. So, what is he going to go for, the IC title with Seth Rollins? Like, Braun Strowman is not an IC or US title guy. He's barely even a tag team title guy. It's basically like world title or nothing. And they don't want to put the Universal title on him. Once Reigns wins the title, it's pretty obvious they're going to do the Samoa Joe feud from the way they set that up. So, Braun Strowman needs his time to shine, needs his title. And it sounds like I'm the biggest fanboy of him. I'm really not that big of a fan. I'm not like one of the big, like, a lot of people like him. I don't dislike him. I'm kind of just in the middle on him. I'm like, he's predictable. His character is the same thing. He's a big guy that destroys things and gets mad. It is cool when it happens, but it's played out. It's cliche. It's predictable. But he does deserve to win a world title. The fans love him. This is what I don't understand. People love Braun Strowman. People love Rusev. Hey, what's WWE's idea? Let's not do anything with him. Let's not put a title on him. And I'm just like, what are you guys doing? With that logic, I could have put Rusev on this list, but there's all these rumors of him being released, which is probably just another storyline and angle. But I don't know. That's why I didn't put him on the list, because he might be getting released. Either way, that is my top 10 people I want who will be switched at the Superstar Shakeup, Raw to SmackDown or SmackDown to Raw. Tell me in the comments who you want to see switched, which ones you agree with, which ones you disagree with, what's your personal top 10. Let me know. And thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on the bell notification, share with your friends, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.